Good day, everyone. Aliii here, April 7, 2025. What a day. So market just capitulated as I expected, especially in a weekly analysis. We mentioned about this bottom here. I was expecting this happens like in June time. Still, I'm thinking of a May, June is going to be, they're going to be ugly months. Not June, but May is going to be very, very concerning. But right now we are at April. We just finished the capitulation. Market just going all the way down to 4,800, exactly the level that we were forecasting, or kind of like this is very, very I would say very interesting pivotal point for the market just because it just hit this trend line almost. And we are just testing this at 2021 high here. And if you just see the S&P 500 previously for previous, I should say, a corrective move, a sharp correction. So this is 2020 COVID top, and this is COVID crash. 2022 bear market just going all the way down to test this area. So to test this top and then getting back to the upside. In 2021, we just got a top, never tested. And right now, we just got all the way down to 4,800, which is the previous top here, never tested. And today, we just got a very sharp bounce to the upside. I'm thinking for the next move, at least for the weekly chart and the daily chart, all indicators are telling me this is a strong buy. This is a strong buying signal. We may see some kind of like a backing and filling, but I think April is going to be a positive month, at least going to 5,400. So this 5,400 is a very, very interesting level, a decisive moment for the market, which is going to be from the current level is going to be almost, I should say, 9% to the upside, which is not going to be a bad. But as you see here, April can just be a flat or positive. It gets to here to 5480 to 5500. Then after that, we're going to make decision if market is going to breaking through to the upside, or we can go back to test this low, potentially months of May, later May, early June. I think we're going to see another volatility to the market. Not sure what's going to be the fundamentals, but right now, everything, all news actually are getting back to positive sentiment. So early session futures market just crashed to the downside 4,800. And you see that here's the stochastic momentum index is showing oversold condition, bull reversal. Even in a weekly chart, if you just see that, here's the weekly chart. We mentioned about this top, we mentioned about this breaking through 48.14, and market just to touch this, bounce back up. And if you just look at this, we got a nice bull reversal on a weekly basis. If we close this week, that would be a very nice bottoming formation for the market. At least for the short term, we can get back to 50, I would say 55, 54, 80. And that would be kind of like the scenario. We may test another time this area for a next kind of like a rally to the upside. 2025 could be bullish year, folks. Could be bullish year, but it's going to be very, very hard. It's not going to be easy. IMI is forming a very nice bottoming formation, the same signal that we got October 2023, the same signal that we got June 2022, which lead to October 2022 bottom. So this is kind of like almost the leading indicator. And you see that MACD is just crazy oversold in a weekly basis. I don't see like this even in 2020. So even in 2020 COVID crash, we didn't get this oversold condition in MACD. But right now, we just see a very, very oversold condition. This is stretched. And when we see something like this, even if we are in a bear market, which I don't think we are still in a bear market, market is just forming 22%, 22.80% to the downside, and then recapturing back up. Nicely recaptured this pivotal point, which is bullish, at least for a shadow. Right now, we close positive today. Another good thing that I just want to mention is this. So make sure watch that volume as well for the COVID crash, because in this sharp sell-off, we see that tons of volumes actually are traded. S&P 500 as an ETF like SPY, average volume is 60 million, right? 50 to 60 million. So let me refresh this. So this is Yahoo Finance. It shows you 251 million traded today, April 7. On Friday, 216. Thursday, 125. And you see the rest of the volume is very, very kind of like in a very, very large volume. It just goes above 100 million. But last 2 days, I would say market shows exactly the sign of capitulation. Fear, panic, bloodbath, whatever you want to call it, this is called capitulation. And this capitulation is like a rubber band. We are going to see SMA 20 is going to be tested again. So when price is reaching out to this level, it's going to be 54, 5,500 to just test SMA 20. And also it's just reaching out to this important gap and supply area. Lots of volumes initiated this sell-off here. So we're going to see rally. It's rally time, at least a very strong dead cat bounce to 54 to 5,500, and we'll see how it goes. The same scenario happens for Nasdaq. Nasdaq is going all the way down to this top, which is 2021 top, recaptured nicely this pivotal point demand area, getting back to the upside. And also it recaptured August low, August 2024 low, which is very, very important because lots of people, I myself as well, in weekly analysis, I said, if we take out this August low and if we close, that's very, very important. If we close below this, that's going to be very ugly for the market. We are heading to a bear market potentially. But today, Nasdaq just going all the way down to 16,000. The lowest level is 16,329. Recaptured nicely, almost 1,000 level above. Right now, we are at 17,494. Lots of stocks, individual stocks in technology, big techies, semiconductors, they were recapturing their pivotal point nicely and come back to the upside. So we will get to those ones. But all in all, I should say Nasdaq can recapture this 18,000 area as well. And the level that I'm looking at is 19,000 area. So let's just mark it in our chart, 19,000 for Nasdaq, which is going to be another 1,500, 1,600 to the upside. Could be a potential very foreseeable scenario for Nasdaq. Dow was kind of like the lagging one, but still the same pattern. Just hit December 2021 top, nicely getting back to the upside. I know it was kind of like just barely positive, but it is positive still, and we are getting above Friday low, which is still positive. Heavy value names are kind of like a lagging just because market is just piling into technology. They were super oversold. They were kind of like very cheap. And even if you're in the scenario that market top is done, so we are hitting the top for the year and we should just get back to the downside or secular bear market has started. This is very cheap level, at least foreseeable, tradable rallies coming. So why I'm parking my money into Dow Jones stocks while I have Nasdaq big techies and S&P 500 good names there, like a Tesla, like NVDA, Apple, Meta. We will go through those ones as well. But all in all, I should say Nasdaq is going to be leader for the next few weeks. Gold just hitting a very sharp sell-off today, 29.30. So it's pretty 29.50, and it's pretty close to 29.43. I would say gold in this wide range bar can form the bottom for a next rally to the upside. Right now, bond yield just sparking higher today. Dollar just to get a strength. We will get to those ones. And that's going to put pressure on gold and precious metals. However, silver start its move. And this is very interesting. If we go to precious metals worth, it's very, very interesting to see gold is going down, silver recapturing nicely, started its move. And this is kind of like in a very, very nice monthly choppy consolidation. And I would say if silver takes out this pivotal point 34.35, we can see silver is rocketing to $40 above. So that would be interesting scenario to see. And I can't wait to see that. So we'll see how it goes. Crude just going down today like the other names and bounce back up, but cannot manage positive, still above $60, but goes below 60. Remember, I told you if crude just get below 60 and close below 60, that's a very, very bearish sign for crude. It can go to 51 to 53. Right now, still it is bearish just because look at the doji, it just bounced back up because of the oversold condition. Again, Donald Trump, Republicans, they don't like expensive crude. They want crude is going down because they want to get gas cheap. And that's why they're kind of like it is in favor of their policies as well. So deflation and those kind of stuff help them to actually put pressure on Federal Reserve for a lower rate, which is gonna be the scenario, which is gonna be the scenario at least for the next month or so. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to Bitcoin, individual names. Bitcoin is just like getting back to the upside today. Doji bar pretty close to this 72,000 area. As I marked before, this is in white range bar, pivotal point, pivotal point, pivotal point. And 72,000 for Bitcoin is just very close. Still doji bar 78,000 today. And if we go back to 84,000, we need to close above 88,000 to get back to the upside. Ethereum is the same, going all the way down to 1,400, get back up 1567 right now. Bond yield, look at the engulfing pattern for the bond yield. So this means the correction, at least the sharp move to the downside is over. I don't think still the bond yield move is finished. Probably we are going to see just a dead cat bounce to even above a 4%. That could be possible scenario. But after that, bond yield can go down even to 3%. So we'll see how it goes. Treasury, TLT is just sharply going down. Seems like Treasury tells us that we are not heading for a recession. So that's the bottom line, folks. Lots of people are saying we are heading for a recession or something. So if we are heading to a recession, Treasury bonds should spike already before the event. Right now, it just formed a nice bullish consolidation, bounce back up. Even during that sharp sell-off in the stock market, money doesn't go to Treasury because they don't believe this is recession. Treasury play is gonna be by institution, big boys. They don't believe in recession. They felt that as a good buying opportunity, this is gonna be a good, fantastic buying opportunity for stocks. And that's what happened, folks. So Treasury is down. Even after hours, it goes down. And I think Treasury is gonna go potentially to this area to 88 to find another bottom. VIX just spiking to 60, sold off the entire session, going down. Sharp shadow here, but this is heading down. So I think VIX is down, and we can go all the way down potentially to 27. Still, it is 46, which is a lot, but usually when this happens, you know that this is August pivot for the stock market, and after that, VIX is just going down. One day or two, you see that the volatility picking up, but after that, VIX is going all the way to $14 area. So we may see another potential scenario. VIX is gonna go all the way down to 20, even 15. I'm not sure if we get to this low area. Dollar just spiking higher after Friday session. Today just confirmed that US dollar is gonna picking up. Dixie is just going to 103.50 and it can go to 105. Apple, the same scenario, just capitulated to 167, 176, 179 area. That's the area that we were looking for. This is the previous area we were looking for. And we bought a lot, to be honest. The last 3 days, we bought a lot Apple. So we allocate nicely in Apple. And I believe Apple is going to have nice bounce at least to 220 to 225 for a short period of time. At least in months of April, we can just have a nice trade on Apple. Amazon is the same. Even after hours, it's picking up. It didn't go all the way down to 144. It didn't respect this trend line, but nicely capitulated, getting back to the upside. If it recaptures this trend line and if it goes higher to 196, 200, Amazon is going to picking up potentially to 200. I'm not sure above that. Meta is the same. Didn't respect this, but 500, 480 today, just touched and then getting back to the upside. Nice engulfing pattern at the very, very interesting pivotal point. This is the consolidation prior this new all-time high. So 500, 480 was kind of like the scenario that we can see the pivot for Meta. It can go higher to 580. Microsoft is the same, touching the second demand area, which I pointed out because previously I was respecting a lot of. Actually, I put like a lots of analysis on this. Microsoft did very well. It just bounced back up, but going all the way down to this important pivotal point. So right now, it just tested 347, getting back to the upside. Nice bounce, but still, it needs to work a lot. So Microsoft is in trouble right now. Obviously, you see that the new all-time high happened in July 2024, never tested. So it's just going a lower high here, December, and then going down. It's the time for Microsoft is getting back to 440, at least for a dead cat bounce. Still, it is going to be in lower high scenario, but it's going to be a good trade. Google, the same scenario, just going down to the previous pivotal point that we were expecting. Nice capitulated 139, 146, and then getting back to the upside. After hours, it finished 147, so tomorrow we will see positive price action. Netflix is just going down to 825, and then bounce back up 867 right now. Tesla forming a nice double bottom here. So this W pattern is very, very nicely forming. We need to see Tesla is getting above 300. If Tesla gets above, I would say 300, that would be very strong signal because at the same time, it closed above this pivotal point and also recaptured this trend line, which is going to be a great buying opportunity, to be honest. So keep an eye on 280 to 300 to see if Tesla can close above this level. We will see how it goes. Moving on to SMH, which is semiconductor index after capitulated to 170, goes back up to 184, 86 after hours. SOX, the same pattern, capitulated, going back up. Taiwan Semiconductor nicely respect this pivotal point. The last time in August happened exactly the same thing. Gap down, research to the upside. Here is the gap down, research to the upside. Potentially, we're going to see the top here around 195, 200, which is going to be this supply area. So we will see how it goes, but that's going to be a good trade. Like it's going to be 30% to the upside. AMD is just respecting. So this yellow line is a monthly trend line here. So you see that AMD goes all the way April 2018, then 19, then here is 2022. Even in 2020, it didn't go down all the way to here in COVID crash. 2022 tested, and today we just tested this again and nicely hold above this. So this is kind of like a bullish signal for AMD. AMD, I thought that this move is going to finish its correction. This capitulation needed for AMD, potentially for bottom, for a nice, great scenario for AMD to getting back to the upside. I'm kind of like a positive in this name as well. NVIDIA, fantastic move, going all the way down 76.87 and just touch 87, get back up nicely without NVIDIA at the bottom today. Fantastic move, right? So we didn't fearful. We were kind of like, we didn't have any fear. We kind of like a greedy. We listened to legendary Warren Buffett, and we were greedy today in a bloodbath market. Texas Instrument is the same scenario, 154, 155. It's just volatile session, needs to go above 176 to have a bullish case, otherwise just a bounce. Lam Research actually did well. So I was kind of like disappointed with this, and I said, if we go below this, that's going to be very bad because Lam can go all the way down. But today price action was kind of like a good, okay. So it just closed above 60, which is bullish. And we need to get above 67. If we get above 67, 70, that's going to be another bullish sign. Lots of damage has been done to the chart. We need to be patient with this. XLF capitulated, getting back to the upside. KBE capitulated, getting back to the upside. KRE, the same price action, going up. JP Morgan nicely higher today as well. So Goldman Sachs at 465 capitulated, getting back to the upside. Bank of America, fantastic test again, this demand area, getting back to the upside. Wells Fargo just touched this demand area. Remember on a weekly analysis, we were mentioning this. Boom, getting back to the upside. Gold miners, GDX, the same scenario, just going down, but getting back again, recapture, kind of like a recapturing their low here. So gold is down, silver is up. So that's what market cares. Market cares about the movement, especially on the silver part, just because gold is beneficiary of the geopolitical tensions or any tensions, systematic risks in the market. Silver is caring about growth. Silver is positive today. So I would say gold miners can follow silver, and it's going to be a good bullish momentum for gold as well. GDXJ, the same scenario. AEM just getting back to the positive board, 99.63. Newmont positive today. So I believe correction is over with gold miners as well. Gold Barrick is the same. It just capitulated and then getting back to the upside nicely. XLE, which is Energy Spider, just going down, capitulated, getting back to the upside. Cannot manage positive, but hopeful for the future. Exxon, the same scenario. It's just triggering kind of like stop losses below this 100 level, but nicely getting back up though. So we're hopeful for that one. And Chevron, just going all the way down to 130, 136. Important pivotal point here, and then getting back to the upside. Energy market is kind of like a kind of weaker than the other names, but I would say technology is gonna be the outperformer for the next few days or maybe weeks. All right, folks, what do you think about the market? The correction is over. Is it gonna be dead cat bounce, or we should just say goodbye correction and we are gonna continue the rally all the way to the year end? Have a fantastic evening. See you on the chart. Bye bye.